Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Poketroid, a series of videos where we go through different creatures, monsters, and aliens from Metroid and try to justify how they could be a Pokemon, going through their actions and abilities in-game and try to justify things like stats, movesets, abilities, evolutions, and all that sort of stuff. And for today's episode, I am super excited to talk about what I think was the most requested creature of all time, Kraid, and see what kind of a Pokemon he can be. So get your Pokedex ready and start logging in this new Pokemon. And without further ado, let's get started! As always, we start off by trying to figure out what possible evolutions Kraid would have. Now honestly, I don't think Kraid would have any evolutions whatsoever. Using NES Kraid as a pre-evolution would be a pretty neat idea, but NES Kraid no longer properly represents Kraid anymore. Also, an average sized furry hedgehog looking alien turning into a building sized reptile would be too much of a stretch, even for Pokemon. And the mini Kraids you see in Super Metroid would also be a pretty cool idea for a pre-evolution, but mini Kraid is literally just a smaller version of Kraid. In Pokemon, a difference in size does not equate to a different evolution. And on the subject of Meta Kraid, I know some people would like to see Meta Kraid be a Mega Evolution or an evolution for Kraid, but Meta Kraid is just purely concept art. We don't have any information about how Meta Kraid would act, move, what enhancements it makes for regular Kraid and all that sort of stuff, as well as the fact that Meta Kraid is only purely concept art, and concept art isn't really considered canon. I feel that for at the moment, Meta Kraid wouldn't really work out to become Kraid's evolution or Mega Evolution. Maybe in the future if they ever implement a Meta Kraid in Prime 4, then maybe we can come back and add him in, but for now, it's just gonna be regular Kraid with no evolutions. Now when it comes to Kraid's typing, it wasn't really as obvious as other creatures. Kraid doesn't really focus on any elemental attacks, he doesn't really have any obvious weaknesses, and his environment is pretty basic, so there's not really much to go off with that. For a primary type, the only real option I think could fit would be the Dragon type. Kraid does have some draconic features, and he is a high-ranking Space Pirate commander, a strong type for a strong creature. That makes sense, right? Although Kraid wouldn't solely be a Dragon type, I would like to see the Ground type be a secondary type. Kraid seems to be able to bury his huge body underground, as well as being able to easily dig himself out of it. Making him a Dragon Ground type would make Kraid a tough Pokemon to take on, with only a few weaknesses to show that Kraid really isn't affected by too many attacks honestly. Also making Kraid a dual type Pokemon would give more of Kraid's moves a stab bonus. Speaking of moves though, to help justify the ground typing, we can justify a bunch of ground type moves due to Kraid's enormous size. Moves like Bulldozer, Earthquake, Magnitude, Fissure, and Dig. With Kraid vomiting boulders in Super Metroid, moves like Rock Throw, Rock Tomb, Rock Wrecker, Rock Blast, as well as some ground type moves like Mud Bomb and Mud Shot would represent this aspect of Kraid's moveset. Let's remember though, Kraid's main form of attack is launching his fists from his stomach, so a ton of fist type moves would work a lot for Kraid. Bullet Punch, Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, Shadow Punch, Dynamic Punch, Power Up Punch, Comic Punch, Mega Punch, Focus Punch, and Meteor Mash. A bunch of punching based moves due to this being Kraid's main form of attack, and also it's a pretty cool way to give Kraid a little bit of type variety when it comes to his moveset. Now if the opponent is out of punching range, Kraid can use his own claws as projectiles. Fury Cutter, Metal Claw, Slash, and Bone Meringue would also represent that aspect of his moveset. Let's not forget Kraid's Dragon typing though, so Dragon Claw, Dragon Chop, Dragon Hammer, and Draco Meteor would be a part of his moveset. And for some miscellaneous moves, we have Heavy Slam, Iron Defense, Spike, Hone Claw, Swagger, Dragon Dance, and Sword Dance. A couple of supportive moves to make Kraid a real offensive tank. Now Kraid's moveset is mostly focused on the wide variety of different punching based moves around his fists and claws, with a nice amount of ground and dragon type moves for his same type attack bonus for his typing, and with some supportive moves to make Kraid a much more physical offensive Pokemon, which I think represents Kraid pretty well. Now when it comes to abilities, one ability came to my mind immediately, Iron Fist. Iron Fist is an ability that would boost punching based moves by 20%. Since Kraid's main form of attack in-game is with his punching projectiles, and we did give Kraid a bunch of punching type moves in his move pool, Iron Fist feels natural for a creature like Kraid. Now for a secondary ability, I think Intimidate would work pretty well. Intimidate basically scares the opponent Pokemon into dropping their attack by one stage, and I'm pretty certain Kraid's enormous stature would scare any Pokemon just by its sheer presence. Now for Kraid's hidden ability, I think Tough Claw would be the best choice for a hidden ability. Tough Claw boosts moves that make physical contact by 30%, which would affect all of his punching based moves, and then some. It's a much better ability than Iron Fist, but since it's a hidden ability, it's going to be a much more rare ability. Regardless of which abilities you have for Kraid, all three of these pretty much represent Kraid pretty well. Now, how would Kraid stack up stat-wise? With Kraid being a space pirate commander, being portrayed as a colossal powerhouse in the lore, and having no evolutions, I think Kraid has what it takes to become a legendary Pokemon. So for stats, I have 135 HP, 110 attack, 155 defense, 70 special attack, 85 special defense, and 80 speed. The total will equal 635 base stat total, which puts Kraid in legendary Pokemon range. Kraid is known for his thick skin, making him immune to any form of attack that isn't directly aimed at his weak point in his mouth. So it would make sense for Kraid to have such high physical defense. As well as Kraid's wide range of physical attacks, it would also justify his high attack power. But due to Kraid's size, his speed is limited, and his low special attack and special defense is kind of a way to balance out Kraid a little bit, not making him too overpowered. Kraid would be an offensive tank. He's slow, but he can take a lot of damage and deal it right back. And with access to abilities like Iron Fist or Tough Claw, and a variety of physical moves and supportive moves that would buff his attack, Kraid would be a dangerous beast to take on, which I think best represents Kraid. Now for some miscellaneous things. With Kraid being a legendary Pokemon, he would be found in a similar manner as the legendary bird trio from Kanto. He would just be chilling at the end of a very hard arena, waiting for a player to traverse through the map to find him. Probably be found in a cavernous area filled with jungle flora, similar to Brintstar basically. When it comes to the Pokemon name, I guess Kraid would be alright, but personally, a dragon ground type Pokemon, I think it would be pretty cool to call him something like Pterodile, since he kinda looks like a crocodile who's always underground, but that's more of a personal preference. Again, Kraid can be seen as a Pokemon sounding like name, but Pterodile sounds so cool, so if I were to catch a Kraid in Pokemon, I probably would have nicknamed it Pterodile just cause that sounds so cool. And when it comes to the shiny form, I think it would be pretty cool to color swap Kraid's green and yellow with yellow and green to pay reference to NES Kraid. And with that being said, I think this wraps up Kraid's Poketroid episode. But that's basically my opinion over what I think Kraid would be if he was a Pokemon. What I want to know is what you guys think. Do you agree with what I got to say about the stats, types, abilities, moveset, and all that sort of stuff? Do you think Kraid should be like a dark dragon or a normal ground type? Do you think he should have different moves or abilities or stats? Whatever you feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And also, here's another legitimate question. Is there anything you want added to Poketroid? Should I be more specific about which levels Pokemon evolve in? Should I be more specific about moves, like which moves are TMs, HMs, move tutors, egg moves? The move part would probably be difficult for the constant changing of Pokemon moves throughout the generations, but I don't know. Should I mention egg groups or EVs and stuff like that? If you guys are interested in stuff like that, feel free to tell me in the comment section. Maybe we can like make Poketroid a little bit more meta-like, I guess? I don't know. And if you like this episode of Poketroid, feel free to subscribe to my channel and click on the video above. It was a video based on Dragon and what if he was a Pokemon, so I hope you click on that and enjoy it. So with that being said, I hope you like, favorite, and subscribe, and stick around for next time, because next episode of Poketroid is going to be a very special episode, and I hope I'll see you next time.